Hey everyone, before we dive right into the action, I wanted to let you know that I stream these things on Twitch, and if you wanna hang out with me while I'm live, you can follow the channel, will be the first link in the description. We're getting the black pieces once again, so gonna be going for another King's Indian defense, and looks like opponent starting out with Queen's Pawn, which is generally gonna mean that we're gonna be playing in like the classical fashion, just going with d6 and short castle. So like playing the typical fashion like c6 d5 is no longer that good for like many reasons. We're not gonna get into that now. Just remember that when they do the, let's say, quote unquote Queen's Gambit, we can just go back into the normal Pirk, trying to make it as sort of beginner friendly as I can. I hope that makes any sense. So see the Sämisch. That is a good friend of mine. Used to play against this quite a lot. So honestly, as a King's Indian player, when I'm seeing the Sämisch, I'm like the happiest person ever. Not that it's a bad opening objectively, but I feel like Black has so many interesting lines to go for, and you can easily start playing for a win. And I'm gonna be using this line with knight d7, like theory-wise, c5 is the main move. Also, there are interesting lines connected with knight c6 and a6, rook b8. Also, another sideline that I used to play in OTB was with c6 and a6, which is pretty interesting. And again, many other interesting sidelines that I'll probably won't have enough time to mention in this video. But yeah, okay, so opponent plays knight h3. I'm trying to understand whether I messed up the move order or not, because this is like typical trick for them. So I'm trying to understand whether I was supposed to start with a6. This might actually be the case, because now we're not allowing knight h3. Yeah, I think I kind of messed it up a bit. Either that or we're doing pretty well anyways. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play in like the Benoni fashion. But like pretty interesting to see that 1000 player knows knight h3 kind of detail. But okay, we'll see how much he knows. We'll go knight e5 and then just sack the pawn in Banco fashion. Yeah, queenito. Start bishop d7, like f4, important to have knight g4. Critical detail so that the knight doesn't get trapped. So from that perspective, h3 is generally gonna be an interesting move. But on h3 we have b5 and f4, knight takes on c4, yeah. He plays it, okay, interesting. Opponent making all the good moves so far. Still super theoretical position. I guess knight bd7 is just inaccurate in that position, but I haven't checked it in a while, I'll have to say. So it's very possible that I messed it up slightly. Okay, I think we take and play something like queen a5. f4, I was hoping there are some tactics that we could go for. Not really sure. Do we have knight h5 kind of move? f4, knight g3. Yeah, I'm not sure. Knight h5 maybe is like a little bit too risky and we don't need it. But it's sort of in the spirit of this. Might be very bad though. So like knight h5, f4, knight g3, rook g1, f5, let's say. Okay, let's just have fun. Gonna go for the fun line. Hoping we can get like an interesting position because opponent won't have the right to castle and there are some tricky questions to answer on this diagonal. So we'll see. Could have played something more passive, like let's say bishop back to create a square, but that is just a very sort of ugly position where you can easily remain without any counterplay. So it's definitely a scenario that I'll try to avoid, and even happier to sacrifice a piece if we can get like interesting long-term compensation. I'm like a fan of it. Just knight g3. I have to speed up a bit though, because opponent seems a bit suspicious, playing all the correct moves as a 1000 rated player. I think I'm allowed to have my doubts sometimes, but just gonna be taking 98. I'm not sure. Like in this position, probably it's like f4 is coming, so I don't see how 98 was helping. The opponent just starting to blunder now everything. He's back to he's back to normal. He was definitely not supposed to do any of these. Like on knight g3, I think he's just supposed to go rook g1, but now we just tap an exchange and have an easily winning position. But I mean, opponent played perfectly, like first 11 moves at least. I'm not sure what happened then, but he had a good opening prep, let's say. Also pretty ironic that his name is the clueless chess player when blitzing out like 10 moves of theory, which is definitely quite a huge achievement for players of these ratings. Like generally players around 1000 don't really know any theory. They're just basically chess enthusiasts, maybe watching like a couple of YouTube videos, some opening traps, but don't really expect them to be prepared so well against like King's Indian, which is some kind of a secondary opening, I would say. So queen b4, perhaps a bit inaccurate because he takes and plays c5. Maybe just queen g3, swinging over to the king side, threatening bishop takes. And maybe we're gonna be pushing with f5, trying to open up the rook and put some pressure on the f1 bishop. Gonna do exactly that. Threatening fe and rook takes on f1. Attacking the bishop, and I guess we're gonna be getting the checkmate very soon, or infiltrating with rook to f2, which is also quite promising. Could have also taken the knight, that's correct, but felt like this might be even faster with bishop takes on h3 coming. We don't need to waste time with that knight when we can play for the checkmate. Of course, take the knight is fine. Don't need to like find best moves all the time, but here I had like a pretty easy solution with rook f2, so just gonna prefer that over the simple alternative now. Oh, we see knight takes on e4. I actually blundered that idea. Holy smokes. Luckily, it's still like a winning endgame, but winning the free piece on c3 was cleaner, but like it's easy win with the 8 pawn, just queening. No way for my opponent to stop that, and yeah, 94, k1, bishop f5. Bishop potentially coming over. Probably just do this and ignore this, a3, yeah. I'm just focusing on the pawn. You can have my bishop, I don't mind it. We go a2 and then rook takes on f1. Big threat. Knight b3, of course, we just play rook b1 and get rid of the knight. Get the check, simply king f6 and just queen next. Yeah, as I was saying, against the check, move the king up, no more checks. King c5, just okay, no need to actually sack the rook, but I think it's nice to show it on the board. Queen a2, queen d5 coming, winning literally everything, and gonna be a fairly easy conversion from now on. Okay, opponent finds the resign button and we managed to get this one in. So okay, I think theory-wise, I made huge mistake. Like this is just sort of amateur mistake. Playing knight d7. Yeah, I'm supposed to start a6, dude. And like there's no knight h3 now. Yeah, I just did an amateur mistake that I keep doing all the time. Like the thing is, I'm trying to play a6, knight e2, knight d7. This is the line I was trying to get. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do it this way and the a6. And of course I forget about knight h3, which is like the most famous trick for the Sämisch. Thanks a lot for making it this far into the video, and in case you're looking for more episodes from the same series, make sure to click one of the videos that will appear on the screen. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you around on the channel. Take care.